Greetings and salutations, people of the internet. This is Master RBG, and it's been a little while since Pokemon Sun and Moon were released. And you know what? After beating the game, I got to thinking about all the evil teams we've seen in the Pokemon series so far. Some of them have been really awesome, and some royally sucked. So, I decided to rank the teams in order from the worst to the best. Bear in mind, these are my opinions, and some of what I'll be discussing today will be filled with spoilers. You've been warned. Number 10. Team Aqua. This is one of the two saddest quote-unquote evil teams in Pokemon history. It's a bunch of environmental nutjobs with a half-baked scheme to abduct a god-level legendary Pokemon to alter the world. Not conquer it, just change it. Their plan involved increasing the ocean by means of Kyogre's inherent water-based powers. And it does increase the ocean. And by increase the ocean, I mean flood the planet and nearly drown everyone, including Team Aqua themselves. Number 9. Team Magma. The other truly sad evil team in Pokemon history. These guys are pretty much identical to Aqua, except they wanted to increase the land using Groudon's powers. The reason they get a higher rank on this list is because drowning is far quicker and more merciful than a massive worldwide drought. Because in a drought, everyone would either die from the extreme heat, dehydration, or eventually live long enough to starve to death. Number 8. Team Snaggin. This group was introduced early on in Pokemon Colosseum. Like any self-respecting evil organization, they have aspirations for world domination. They even have access to technology that allows them to straight up capture a Pokemon from another trainer. Unfortunately, they don't make it very far in their quest for world domination and get completely overshadowed by a much larger and more dangerous team in their own games. Number 7. Team Galactic. Don't drink the Kool-Aid around these guys. Although officially called an evil team, they're more like a suicide cult. They're also the team with the dumbest looking uniforms. Their plan is to summon and control one of the top-tier god-level legendary Pokemon and use their powers to destroy our universe and make a whole new one without all that pesky life that's so common in ours. Little do they know, their own leader intends to enter that new universe without his followers. Number 6. Team Flair. This was a rather odd group. Kinda like Team Galactic, these guys have an air of cultishness to them as well. The grunts have to buy their way into the group, and don't seem all that terribly competent, even at the best of times. They seem to have some pretty smart and dubious scientists and engineers on the payroll, though. Their leader, strictly speaking, isn't actually evil. He's a good man who wants to help out those who are less fortunate, but has had all his efforts to that end thwarted, time and time again. He believes that with the limited resources of this world, that the only way for everyone to get a truly equal share of those resources is to wipe out most of the population. And Team Flair has control of an ancient doomsday weapon that can do precisely that. And hey, it uses a god-tier legendary Pokemon as its energy source. But their leader gives the protagonist multiple opportunities to stop his plans, mostly because he doesn't really want to go through with them himself, which is why this team is so low on the list. Number 5. The Aether Foundation. Now, to be fair, the entirety of the Aether Foundation isn't evil per se. Their leader and second in command are definitely evil, and their actions definitely earn them a spot on this list. They allied themselves with local thugs and gang members, although not publicly. Their leader cryogenically freezes Pokemon to protect them and keep them perfect forever. They perform various unethical experiments on Pokemon to include trying to artificially recreate Poke God himself Arceus and tormenting a baby legendary Pokemon to open wormholes to allow extremely powerful and dangerous Pokemon into our world. The only reason they're so low on the list is because of lacking true evil motivation, like world domination, and again, the whole organization is not evil. Number 4. Team Skull. Surprised? I was too. But when you actually stop to think about it, it does make sense. These guys are a gang of delinquents, but they do manage quite a few things that far better equipped teams never did manage to do. These guys want to collect rare Pokemon and sell them for profit. But unlike other teams, the general level of competence and intelligence of their grunts seems to be surprisingly high. They have a close-knit bond with one another, with one of their admins even calling her subordinates her little brothers and sisters. They worked in league with a wealthy and powerful organization without getting burned in the deal. They also managed to completely conquer a whole city, a well-fortified and defendable city, mind you. Seriously, it has a giant wall around it with a gate, and retain control of it even after the protagonist beats them. They managed to gather all the Bug-type Z crystals, an item that their leader can use to great effect, and they accomplished all of this with no legendary Pokemon, no super technology, and no scientists or anything other than sheer willpower and determination. Number 3. Cypher. Much like Team Snaggin, these guys originate from the GameCube Pokemon Coliseum games, but unlike Snaggin, these guys had their act together. They were the ones who actually invented the technology that allowed its wielder to capture a Pokemon from another trainer with any Pokeball of their choice. They created technology that transformed regular Pokemon into evil and extremely violent Shadow Pokemon. Much like Team Rocket, their leadership also posed as legitimate government officials, and unlike most other teams that took an entire game to temporarily capture or wield a single powerful legendary Pokemon, these guys captured and controlled a grand total of 7, consisting of the original legendary bird trio, the legendary beast trio, and Lugia. Number 2. Team Rocket. The team's so nice, they use them twice. Team Rocket is without doubt the best known evil Pokemon team, and they got that way for a reason. They had a great style, and even if you took away Pokemon from them, they would still be a legitimate evil organization. They use weapons like whips, they engage in animal abuse, i.e. cutting off and selling Slowpoke tails, plan to conquer the world, are involved in gambling, run an alternative medicine shop, engage in a literal hostile corporate takeover of the biggest corporation in the Pokemon world. They desecrated a sacred burial ground, kidnapped an old man, and of course to top it all off, their leader is part of what passes for the Kanto region's government. They also engineered arguably the most powerful Pokemon in the world using DNA from an extinct Pokemon, and figured out a method for forcing a Pokemon to evolve without actually leveling it up. Number 1. Team Plasma. These guys. Oh, good grief, these guys. These were without doubt the smartest evil team to ever grace a Pokemon game. Instead of straight up stealing Pokemon, they held public rallies and convinced people to set their Pokemon free, and it worked. They even managed to beat PETA to the punch in saying that forcing Pokemon to battle is wrong. They took advantage of the region's legends and folklore, manipulated/raised a child to fulfill the old legend, and further cement their cause as right and just in the eyes of the general public. They used him as a figurehead leader because he truly believed in their supposed cause, and would win over the people with his charm and charisma. They had an elite team of actual freaking ninjas on their payroll to guard their leader, and had not just scientists but sages as well. These guys were so organized that they managed to build up an entire castle underneath the Elite Four and have it rise up from the earth before you can even be crowned champion. They even managed to hack the Pokemon PC storage system, so even if a few people held out and didn't release their Pokemon of their own free will, Team Plasma could just steal them away anyway at their leisure with the PC. Team Cypher be darned, who needs a Snaggin machine to take individual Pokemon when you can steal the world's Pokemon from the comfort of your own desk? And after the events of Black and White and Black and White 2, they managed to control 2 powerful legendary Pokemon and even managed to fuse them together. They were aware of all the previous evil teams and organizations and learned from their mistakes, and became, in my opinion, the greatest evil team in Pokemon history. Well, that does it for today's list. I certainly hope you enjoyed it. Do you agree? Disagree? You think someone should have been ranked differently? Well, post it down in the comments. I'll make sure to look at them later. Anywho, if you enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of my nonsense in the future, hey, why not hit that subscribe button? And if you'd like a suggestion for some other videos by me, well, how about 2 of them? Here's my first top 10 video I ever did on Pokemon Go. And over here, how about last week's review of Never Alone? It's actually a rather nice game. Anywho, that is it for me this week, guys. This is Master RBG, signing off.